Dawson and Brown in record 5th wicket stand. Hampshire were the happier of the two sides at the Spitfire Ground after the second day of play. A breezy 100 from captain James Vince and 6 wickets from Keith Barker had put them in a commanding position, heading into the third day with a lead of 32. Liam Dawson had already picked up his 50 on day 2, so it was over to Brown to see if he could follow, and he did just that, capitalising on a fast start to make his way to 50, scored off 79 balls. Dawson was putting on a bit of a show. With another boundary, he'd taken the value of the partnership to 100 off 160 balls. But they were accelerating now, and with a lovely drive down the ground, Dawson had 100 all of his own, scored off 144 deliveries. 400 came with a swept 4 off Kadri, but these two weren't done yet. Kent were working hard, but for not very much reward. Brown and Dawson soon up to 150 together, shared evenly between both batters. They reached 450 before the break, the lead now beyond 150 when they headed for lunch, Hampshire continuing their day 2 momentum into the third day. It would be a similar story after the break, Dawson connecting with another sweep to Kadri, this time to clear the leg side boundary. One worked off his legs for a single in Kadri's next over meant that this pair had now put on 200 for the 5th wicket. And there was more to come. Hard running from Brown and Dawson took the former Sussex captain to 100, scored off 161, his first time reaching 3 figures for his new county. His moment in the spotlight was brief. Dawson back raising the bat for a third time. Kadri again couldn't find respite. 4 runs through the offside took the Hampshire man to 150 off 253 balls, and the visitors now had 500 runs on the board. The spinners' next over was costly, both men taking advantage of the freedom afforded to them by their huge score. 15 runs came from just 6 balls. Dawson was having fun. Stevens ramped for 4. Hampshire's foot pressed firmly to the floor. He finally departed for 171, caught in the deep trying to lift Mayeye for 6. A new top score in first-class cricket to his name, and the partnership with Brown worth 274, beating a Hampshire record for the 5th wicket that had stood for almost 100 years. Brown remained though, and followed Dawson to 150, up to the mark off 190, with a single off Mayeye. He'd give Mayeye his 2nd wicket, out caught in the deep by Gilchrist for 157. What a job he'd done for his side. Kent were really suffering now, Barker and Organ scoring off virtually every single ball they faced, and with an unorthodox reverse to the ropes by Barker, Hampshire had hit 600 runs. Their 50-run partnership was quick coming too, scored at a run a ball, and before tea, they'd found their way to 650, wandering in for the break at 652 for 6, the lead 347. Vince felt that was enough and declared during the break, setting an unenviable task for Crawley and Compton, who got off to a rapid start. 14 runs came from the first over. They were up to 50 runs from 68 balls after a little more than 3/4 of an hour together, but that's where they would be prized apart. Crawley trapped in front by Abbott for 29. He had a double wicket made and 4 balls later. Bell Drummond out for a duck, chipping to Organ in the leg side. Organ turned wicket taker. Mayeye then bowled for 3. Kent clung on for what remained of the day, still up against it, 269 runs in arrears. The score at the close of play, 78 for 3. Ben Compton remains though, and has made a reputation over the past few weeks for his gritty, determined performances. He'll have to be at his best again if Kent are to avoid defeat. Hampshire will do all they can to deny their hosts that target, with last week's deflating loss to Surrey still fresh in their minds.